Average Joe, the cattle, resents and despises and hates you because you actually know how to do your job, because you actually cared enough to make yourself better. Average Joe hates to be reminded that they're average, and they resent and despise and loathe you because you tried to make yourself better. People are cattle. They just don't care to make themselves better. If they tried, the world would be amazing. Would be an amazing place. Well, it's been 32,000 years now. It's not an amazing place. There are a few of us, but not enough, because average Joe doesn't care. Average Joe knows about pollution and crime and evil and starvation. They know those are bad things, but average Joe doesn't care. Even if it's happening to themselves, even if they're suffering, they won't do anything. The cattle, the 98%, want someone else to do all their work for them, all their thinking for them, they want to be led. That's what cattle do. All cattle want to do is drink, to party, to mate, and forget all about you, the one who actually cared about them. Because in our world, in our culture, in our society, if you care, you are a fool. And I have to agree with this. It's true. You are a fool. I spent my whole life caring about the human race. Mankind was my business, from Dickens, Charles Dickens, from Scrooge. No, I spent my life caring about people, believing in the basic good of the human condition, believing that love was the single most important thing you could have in your life. I believed that love was the ultimate power. And all I have found is that hatred is worship, evil is always the first choice, and that love makes you a victim. So where does the idea of basic good of man come from? From you and me, the 2% solution. But there are just so few of us. And we've spent so much of our time on the cattle because we feel bad for them, because we know they can be more than what they really are. But you know what? We're wrong. Cattle will always be cattle. I have to give our masters this one. You cannot make cattle different. Cattle will not evolve. Well, so then what's the idea? Well, first, we have to stop believing the lie that all people are created equal. Frankly, that just wastes your time. It wastes your life to treat morons fairly. Liars and cheats and thieves. You want to treat them fairly? Why? They'll just lie to you, rob you, and cheat you again. What you really need to do, this is my opinion, believe in yourself. Just put all your effort into you. And if you're lucky, if you're really lucky, you'll find other people who appreciate you because you are putting your effort into you. And then you can share that together. And always, please remember the phrase, I listen to what you say, I watch what you do. This phrase, these two sentences, will clear the trash out of your life quickly. And you will, sadly, find yourself mostly alone all of the time. But that just gives you an opportunity to fill that empty space with reality, with real people, with love instead of hate. Clear the trash out, because if the trash is in there, there's no room for anything else. Empty yourself out. Clear it out. Get rid of it. Here's a good example. When I was back in Hollywood, I had just escaped my tormentors at the ripe old age of 28, and I moved into Hollywood full time. And I was really lonely. I was shocked to discover that the world that I grew up in, of hatred and cruelty and lying and pain, was now the norm of the country. And how the liars were openly running the country, lying and cheating and stealing and destroying. And I was amazed at the cruelty I discovered in Los Angeles when I moved in full time. I was used to cruelty back out in the desert with the crazy people, with the CIA and U.S. Army street thugs. But to discover it everywhere now, I was stunned. And I had this emptiness in me. So I filled it with junk. I started collecting newspapers, just for one article, but I'd save the whole newspaper. Very soon, my life was quite filled with junk, with garbage. I literally had like 60 boxes of nothing but newspapers that I was just trying to fill this empty hole in me with, just junk. So if anything good might have shown up, there was no room for it in my life. And it finally dawned on me that my life was so empty and this hole inside of me was so big. I was just throwing anything in there just so there'd be something in this big empty hole in me. Old newspapers, boxes and boxes and boxes of old newspapers. And I started throwing them away. I was empty again, but at least there was room for something else to come in. Nothing did, of course. But now I'm free of all of that junk. There's nothing filthy in me anymore. All the filth, whether physical or emotional, and it was always somebody else's emotions, they're gone. All that crap I ate at McDonald's, gone. All that plastic and left-handed molecules that pass as sugar, gone. So now I'm completely empty. Now I'm open to anything that comes along because there's room now. So again, I listen to what you say, then I watch what you do. These two phrases will clear the trash out of your life, and you will find yourself alone. But now there are opportunities. Now you're clean. Now you're free to think clearly and with a sense of reality you've probably never known before. Because the reality is no matter what potential you see in someone, unless they care, that's all it will ever be, potential. And most people will never even bother. They won't see a reason to make themselves better than they are. They just can't be troubled with it. So if they can't be bothered, don't you bother either. Concentrate on being the best you can be. Concentrate on being the best you that you can be. And have a plan. I'd rather you were here at the village with us, working with me. So raise some working capital, pool your knowledge, get the cash in, and I'll make it work. Because I can't do this without you. Let's work together. For all of us here at the2012fad.com, this has been Charlie Bluehawk. Wishing you a really good day and reminding you, please, always keep that one good thought. The 2012 Fad is brought to you by Coffee and Blood, Love Letters Between the Dead, a series of 5 erotica horror novels about a fallen angel finding his way back to regain his own soul, and how the CIA war against the human race, their black magic, captures and traps him in the body of a mind-controlled slave designed to hunt down and to kill their god, their Satan.